newly following this podcast soon, but let's start from the beginning. I know you've had some hardships, but you love trance and you love, DJing and music, and I know you mentioned you're blind. So can we start start from the beginning and kind of explain to people where all of this love and perseverance came through?
Well, Brooke, thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it. It's quite an honor. And I absolutely love trance music. You are definitely right about that. And yes, I am a trance DJ who has been blind since birth. And I started DJing in 2014. I started performing at local clubs here in San Diego, including the AC Lounge, the Fuse nightclub, the Miss Party nightclub. And tomorrow I have a gig at the Belly Up in Solana Beach where I will be opening for DJ Mancat, Kiyoshi, and Digital Lizards of Doom.
Okay, awesome. So what about trance did you fall in love with? I mean, we all have our stories, we all have our tracks, we all have our time frame when we first start listening to trance, but what about trance connects with you?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't quite catch all that.
No problem. So what about trance connects with you? Like, we all have our different tracks and time frames and stories about when we fell in love with trance. So what about...
You mean like what it means? You mean like what it means to me? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and kind of, the story of when you fell in love with the genre.
Oh, okay. Well, trance just really makes me happy. I just love that it's very energetic, very upbeat. I love everything about it, from the bass line to the melody to the kick drum beats, and pretty much everything that it has to offer, or as I like to put it sometimes, all the yummy ingredients that are in the genre. And it started out when I started listening to Corsten's Countdown that I really grew into the genre. I really loved it, and I thought, I really like this music, and it's thanks to my DJ coach who's been training me for the last 3 years that I am where I am today, and that I love doing it when I not only do my high energy tunes mixes, but also when I do live sets. And there are quite a few people who've inspired me to do this, but I'll talk about that in a moment. But I will also give you a moment to ask me the next question. And again, I really appreciate you having me. And like I told you when we first talked, that people listening to this podcast will really help with engagement. It'll help get my name out there, as well as people being interested in what I do, all that sort of thing.
Right, yeah. I mean, that's my podcast is a little bit different than a lot of other formatted podcasts. I like to speak to people that may otherwise not, get the credit they deserve or the recognition they deserve. But I also like to speak to people and have a conversation about mutual commonalities